Coming up, Kenny Murphy in the Forum, and his guest today is Guardian Training, and this is always a good show. In fact, we've been sitting here asking 1,000 questions.
Mm-hmm. This guy's the real deal. If you haven't heard this show before, or if you have, you want to stay tuned for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember today, all the many people who damage or destroy their lives with one of the 1,000 obsessions that can plague the human mind.
Payson.
The alcoholic and the addict, those with eating disorders, those with sexual compulsions, those who are driven to obsessive gambling, the superstitious, those who hoard obsessively and live in squalor, those whose only concern is their appearance or their wealth, or any of the myriad of baffling, bizarre behavioral disorders that may affect and burden the lives of your people. Help us remember that they are your beautiful children whom you love. Let us see our own sin first and not judge. Give them the strength to seek help. Guide them to people who can help them, and flood them with the power of your Holy Spirit, that they may control their disorders. May they find peace and contentment on this earth, and the eternal joy that awaits the faithful. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Welcome to the Forum, your way to keep up with state and community leaders, experts, and local business leaders. This is your chance to hear from and talk to people that affect your life right here in Rim Country. You can express your opinions by calling 474-2427. And remember, the comments and opinions of guests and callers are not necessarily the opinions of KMOG. Welcome to Rim Country Forum.
Good morning, Rim Country. This is the Colonel Kenny Murphy, and this is the Rim Country Forum. Our call-in number, as always, is 928-474-2427. There we go. Don't want to get you confused like I am this morning. Let's thank our great sponsors, Owens Law Firm, HS3 Roof King, Pinnacle Propane, the Dana Law Group, and Peak Dermatology. It is 79 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Got a chance of rain. Guess there's a big hurricane down there in Mexico that may be turning our way here later on this week. Maybe we'll get some rain out of that. And that is a possibility from what I read this morning. And today our guest is the one and only Josh Logan. How are you doing, Josh?
Good. How are you, sir?
Guardian Training and Consulting. And Josh has been on the show many times, and he is an exceptional firearms instructor and educator. He does legal testimony and lawsuits related to firearms, and had an excellent career in law enforcement, and really a pleasure to have him on the show. How are things going with you, buddy?
Great, Colonel. Couldn't complain. Even if I did, nobody'd want to listen anyways, but great.
I saw your rodeo weekend. Did you have fun here at the rodeo?
Yeah, it was great. I brought the kiddo up here, and so we did our concealed carry class and then headed off to the rodeo, and it was what a great night. Watching the community get together and watched one of the oldest sports in America.
It was a great show, and it was packed through Saturday night, too, man. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I guess we broke records this year. So
did you?
Yeah.
Standing room only, I noticed. So getting a seat in the stands was a luxury.
Yeah, it was a little challenging. It was a lot of fun. Really appreciate you coming up here.
Yeah.
So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got involved in something like this. And we always have some new listeners now and then, so it's always good to kind of recover the ground.
For sure. Yeah, so Josh Logan, co-founder of Guardian Training Consulting with my wife, retired law enforcement, so started my career in the wonderful United States Air Force. For those Army and Marine Corps guys, they go, you weren't really in the military, but I scored high enough on my ASVAB test to choose, and I'm like,
yeah, you got to pick one. Huh?
Right. I'm like, if I have to go to an Army base, I get substandard living allowance. This Air Force thing is pretty sweet. So,
but they didn't tell you that the Air Force was in cold climates and
right. It's like, well, I joined the Air Force to go see the world. I wanted to see exotic Asia and Europe and Ramstein and Okinawa, and got sent to Minot, North Dakota. So
in North Dakota is exotic.
Sure, yeah, that works. For the radio, for FCC purposes, we'll leave it at that. So, yeah.
But we've got some nuclear missiles up there, don't we?
We do, yeah. So we have the intercontinental. Well, Minot's distinct in the Air Force because we actually have two of the three nuclear triad. So the nuclear triad is intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are the silos in the ground. The airborne missiles, so your air-launched cruise missiles, and then your submarine. Your submarine. So Minot has the distinction of having two of the three, the B-52s with nuclear-tipped air-launched cruise missiles and the Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missiles. So I was on the missile side. The intercontinental ballistic missile side wasn't on the flight line, thank God, or what we call rivet counters. So I did security for that. So when those nukes, literally the silos are sitting out in the middle of a prairie. Now it's well, how would I say this? Well alarmed. I'll leave it at that. So when they need to get worked on, they would take the warhead off, the three warheads off the missile, and drive it back to base. Well, that was I was the airborne component to that. So I was in the back seat with an M4, with a 203, and then usually we had a M249 belt fed, 240 belt fed, and then usually an M107 for like such as tractor trailer threats, stuff like that, high value target threats. So did that for 4 years and had a blast, literally, and then joined the city of Minot, North Dakota Police Department as a civilian police officer. Went to the academy in North Dakota, and then finally had to get out of the 70 below zero. I was done. I was done with the white stuff, and then came back to Arizona by way of the Chandler Police Department and worked there for majority of my career. And so I worked the streets. That was a majority of my job. As I say, my three food groups: gang members, dope, and guns. That's what I did. So I liked people who had face tattoos and made poor life decisions, smoked dope, and shot each other. That was my. So if I stopped the quote-unquote average law-abiding citizen, it would be like, you are not the droid that I want, and move along, good citizen.
Well, crime happens to be a rather timely subject these days. Apparently, we have two schools of thought here, where we have people that want to stop crime, and then people that are defending criminals and don't want any criminal be put in jail, and if they do get arrested, they get out on the street 5 minutes later and with no bail, and they're out there committing another crime 5 minutes later. So I just love how this thing has been set up where there are politicians that are defending criminals and attacking law enforcement. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, and the sad state of affairs, like when we talk about policing, specifically law enforcement, and it comes to crime, it becomes a political issue. Same thing with firearms. It's weird. Like we're both in a very politically charged world on that world. But right. I mean, I saw the writing on the wall. I left in 2020. I saw kind of the writing on the wall, and it was just like it's crazy out there. The amount of scrutiny, which is partly good because I believe in scrutiny with law enforcement. We need to have a professional profession. But the job is becoming almost untenable and unworkable.
Oh my God! I just don't know how you do it. I mean, you've got the scrutiny of the entire world on you, and everybody's got a cell phone, and everybody wants to second guess everything. And,
right. You're on a fishbowl. You're on a microscope.
And having to make split-second decisions. Every day of your life.
Yes.
That's just got to wear on you mentally. It really does.
Mentally, emotionally, all the LY words, let's just use it that way, all the adverbs, for sure.
Well, we have a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
It's Frank. Hey, the other day I was coming through town, and I couldn't help but notice that a police officer was parked on the sidewalk monitoring traffic right across the street from Safeway. There was a parking lot literally 3 feet away. Is that normal that we just park on sidewalks and monitor traffic from there?
Well, I would imagine that the reason why that they want to do that is that they want to be right out there on the street so that they can be a deterrent. And I know that they're monitoring the...
I'm just thinking 3 feet. 3 feet is not going to make that much difference as far as being seen. But, we pay a lot of money for the sidewalks. And somebody...
Well, I don't know. Well, I guess somebody can, maybe from the police department, can call in and explain why, but I would imagine that they want to just be as visible as possible.
Yeah, can't answer what a police officer is doing and why they're doing it. It's the same as asking a citizen why he did that.
All right, Frank. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to see him out there. I don't know. I mean, I imagine they can park where they like.
There are laws that there's an Arizona Revised statute that allows authorized emergency vehicles to do similar stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, we have another caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Hi, this is Dave.
Hey,
I
Dave.
want to talk to our guest. Yeah, I'm a veteran of Francis C. Warren Air Force Base. I know all about the silos.
Oh boy, the peacekeepers, the peacekeepers back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was security police, and it can turn into a very boring job. But
absolutely.
you got to have it.
Got to have it. Deterrence
Gotta
is
have
key.
it.
Yeah, what years were you
Yeah.
up there?
Oh gosh, I got discharged in '76. So let's see, I guess from about '74 to '76, I was there.
Strategic Air
And,
Command. You're under SAC.
Yeah, that's right.
There you
The
go.
old SAC, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a lot of guys that on their uniforms, they had the rocket, and they also had the wings, for the 52s and whatever. So
Peace through
it
deterrence.
was good. I really liked Cheyenne. It was a good place, and I spent a lot of time up in central Wyoming working in the uranium mines. So Wyoming's a good state.
For sure. 100%.
Now, are you a concealed carry permit holder?
That's a personal question.
Well, I carry, but I don't necessarily have the paperwork. But yes, I do carry.
There you go.
to
Attaboy.
hear.
All right.
Thanks
Well,
for your service, sir.
yeah, thank you for your service.
Well, with the thing that happened in Minneapolis, these people need to realize that some of these churches are not soft targets.
Yep. Working on that. Working on that for sure. 100%.
Well,
Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks,
you.
man. Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there's another guy. There's a connection there. When I was the deputy brigade commander up at Camp Navajo, which is 10 miles
Okay.
west of Flagstaff, there's 300 igloos there.
Igloos.
That are climate controlled, that hold all of the Titan II rocket launchers from the SALT II treaties.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people don't realize that there's that's where they're stored right now, and the Russians come over once a year to look at them to make sure they're still there, then go shopping in Scottsdale.
That's exactly it. We had the Russian inspectors come up there, and we opened the hole, and they go, missile.
Yeah, still there.
Check off Yuri, check it off.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And we go over there and check theirs too,
Yeah.
according to all these treaties.
Right.
But a lot of people don't realize it's one of the few National Guards with a railroad
Really?
up there at Camp Navajo. And
Okay.
that was built back in '43, back in the during World War II, and it was where they packaged up all the ammunition being sent to the Pacific. And
Okay.
it was built by the Navajos, and that's why it was called Camp Navajo.
That makes sense.
And over the years, it became a demilitarization place where they would demob the ordnance from there after the war.
Sure.
And so then it became a storage site for the SALT II treaty missiles from your day and when you were guarding them.
Well, not my day.
Yeah.
Let's get that
Yeah,
straight real quick.
So, it's interesting. A lot of people don't realize that's where they're stored.
Didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
We learn something new every day.
26,000 acres of National Guard forest up there. Some huge toad elk because it doesn't get overhunted either.
Right, because they know the lines.
Yeah, they know where the lines
they
are.
know. They hear that first gunshot of the year, and all of a sudden, magically, they start knowing the lines are, for sure.
Now, Guardian Training and Consulting, you don't just do the concealed carry permit classes, which are extremely important. You do all kinds of training. You've got medical training, etc. Tell me about all the different things you guys offer.
Yeah, so think of it like a holistic approach. So the ethos of our company is, what are you doing today to prepare for tomorrow? So it's not, I would say this. We're classically trained firearms instructors in that world, but the problem I guess we've ran into is, you're the gun people. I'm like, well, that's one aspect of what we do. The company's called Guardian because it's a protective mindset. It's taking care of people, and that can transcend just firearms instruction, but also into medical. So stop the bleed, CPR. We were talking about it before we got on air. The rise of opioids and the amount of dangerous opioids that are out there, not just prescribed, but also illicit in nature that is coming from Asia. So Narcan's a big request as of late, and then just safety and awareness, being situationally aware. I know that's for us. It's a very vanilla issue. Get out of your phone, look out and about. Don't be in lack of better terms, don't be at Walmart at 2:00 in the morning, right? It's like nothing good happens there. It may seem commonsensical in nature, but a lot of those are learned behaviors. So we have that very holistic approach to training, and then that's kind of like our civilian sector, lack of a better terms. John Q. Public, we work with the United States Concealed Carriers Association, and then we have our law enforcement division. So I travel the country. My staff travels the country. Like next week, I'm going to be in Huntsville, Alabama, soon to be the headquarters for Space Force.
Space Force is moving to Alabama.
Right, Huntsville, Alabama. So we've had a 3-year contract with Huntsville, Alabama Police Department. I've trained 241 of their police officers in their department in 3 years. So I'm going to do a 2-day vehicle combatives instructor development course. So there's going to be about 15 to 18 firearms instructors, law enforcement firearms instructors from around that area. And so we're going to be shooting at vehicles, through vehicles, around vehicles, seeing what certain terminal ballistics do in and around that car, and really having a 2-day discussion about that. So that's one part of it. And then I'm traveling a week after. I'm traveling to Houston and doing my classes at the International Association of Law Enforcement Firearms Instructors annual conference. And awesome. Mark Lamb will be there, Sheriff Mark Lamb.
So I'm last night on TV.
Yeah, you always see him on TV.
Yeah.
What an awesome guy. I've known him for quite a few years. Great guy. And so, I travel the country doing that. And then I also work for the National Rifle Association's law enforcement division, and one of only now 32 train the trainers per se, where I'm one of the 32 that can certify an NRA law enforcement instructor. So, and then with the USCCA, I also do train the trainer as well. So I'm one of 32 for the NRA law enforcement division in the country, and then technically one of one because in 1 week, I can certify a person to be a civilian firearms instructor and an NRA law enforcement instructor, and I'm only one of one that can do that in the country. So it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride. I've had amazing mentors. I've had amazing people in my life, and we continue to. A staff of 16, and it's just growing. And I mean, so many different backgrounds. I mean, we have John Q. Public. We have stay-at-home moms that teach for us. We just picked up a MARSOC, a Marine Special Operations Command Marine, and then including and then one of the guys is Jody Weiss. He's the former superintendent of the Chicago Police Department. He was just on Fox News with Brian Kilmeade talking about the whole kerfuffle in
DC,
Chicago.
In Chicago.
In Chicago and D.C.
Chirac.
Chirac, exactly. Yeah, so that's a long-winded answer to a very simple question about who we are and what we do.
Well, another thing I just saw, you just showed me the video of you certifying as one of only, about 500 guys that can shoot like you. I mean, this was stunning. You have to shoot so many targets in less than 5 seconds and do a reload in the middle of it.
Correct. Yeah.
And you did it in you have to do it 3 times in 1 day.
1 day.
And you did it, and I saw the video. It's pretty impressive. Tell me about that.
So it's a society that was started by the Federal Air Marshal Service. So the Federal Air Marshal Service is near and dear to my heart because my wife is a former Federal Air Marshal. She flew 1.9 million miles around the world. So I've had the awesome opportunity to meet as a Federal Air Marshals across the country. And if you think about this, these are the people that fly, covertly armed on aircraft to prevent the next proverbial 9/11. So these are the best shooters in our not just our federal law enforcement space, but our law enforcement space, period.
They got to be pretty good shots when you're on an airplane.
They are.
Because that's kind of a tight little...
I mean, you're shooting at pie plates, right? Which is about the size of a head, right? So if you ever watched the movie, the show Top Shot back in the History Channel way back when, a majority of anybody that said they're a federal agent, quote unquote, they were Federal Air Marshals. So like Gary Quisenberry is a triple nickel coin holder. So J.J. Rakaz is as a part of that society. Some of the best shooters. So it's called the Triple Nickel Society. And the reason why it's called the Triple Nickel is the drill, the course of fire, is 5 targets. So it's 5 targets, 5 yards in under 5 seconds. So when the buzzer goes off, you fire 2 shots per target with a mandatory reload somewhere in that string of fire. And you have to do it in 5 seconds in the Federal Air Marshal qual target zone. So you have to complete that in under 5 seconds with those shots. You have to do it 3 times in 1 day in front of 2 coin holders. So I had the awesome honor and privilege to have Karen's former firearms instructor from the Federal Air Marshal Service, and he currently teaches at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Centers. He's coin holder number 11 of the society. There's only 7 founding members of this society, and he's one of those 7. So he came to do my USCCA instructor class this weekend. Of course, he killed it. He did a great job, and now he's a part of our organization, and it's just an absolute honor. Bill Morgan he's a legend. I mean, it's a legend. So then he was the one who coined me, along with another guy by the name of Gentle Giant, because we all have our names. We get named. So he's Battered Bill, and I'm the Galloping Goose. And I had the awesome opportunity last night. Jess, if he's listening right now, one of our instructors, the Marsoc Marine, he is now coin holder number 507. For the triple nickel.
Well, to be able to shoot 10 rounds with a reload in the middle
from a draw,
yes, in less than 5 seconds is pretty impressive.
And no race guns. So no race guns. It has to be all duty gear. How you
now,
carry
what's a race gun?
Like high speed, like like the high end $8,000 pistols, like the guys that run the competition stuff.
With
like
that half-ounce trigger pull.
Correct.
Thing,
It has to be a duty style pistol. So Jess, we coined him last night. He is now a member of the herd. Coin holder 507. His name is Thickness Actual. So, and if you see him, he's friggin' thick.
Thickness Actual.
If you think I'm thick, he's thick in a good way. I'm a little more in the bad way, but yeah, he's a great guy. So we welcome to the herd. So there's only 507 coin holders in the entire world. So from what I've gathered, it represents the top 1/10 of 1% of shooters in the entire world.
Now, let's talk about the concealed carry course, because in Arizona, we're a constitutional carry state. Explain what that means.
So constitutional carry, in its simplest sense, is you don't need. The laws have been enacted by that state in which you do not need permission from the government, usually by way of a permit, to carry a concealed deadly weapon, typically a firearm. That means it's what we call permitless carry. That means that you don't need a permit. As long as you're not a prohibited possessor by federal law or state law, then you can carry a gun. So there's no training requirement mandatorily to purchase a firearm and or carry a firearm. That's what constitutes.
So I can carry a concealed weapon if I'm not a prohibited possessor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now there's limits on that. You can't walk into just any bar or whatever like that. Where are the limitations on being able to? Where can you go and not go as somebody that's carrying a concealed weapon? So, now, there's a difference in concealed versus non-concealed in these places, or are they pretty much the same?
Yeah, they're nuanced. So, in the state of Arizona, we are a constitutional carry, but whether it's open or concealed, they make no distinction under Arizona revised statutes. When it comes to certain prohibitive places, so people are like, well, I don't need a permit to carry a gun in the state of Arizona. And I go, you're right. Well, then why would I take your class? I say, well, first, God forbid you learn something.
God forbid you might learn some law.
Right.
Well, and here's the point. To carry a weapon, it's a right. Constitutional in the Bill of Rights, it's a right. It's a God-given right, and it's
Correct.
in the Bill of Rights, as we discussed earlier.
Yes.
But with rights come what?
The big R word, responsibilities.
Responsibility.
Yes, absolutely. It comes with responsibilities. So to answer your first question without trying to sound like a politician, but so the first one is so there are establishments that are licensed for consumption of alcohol on premises. That's a fancy word of saying bars, restaurants, breweries, American Legions. If you go there and your intent is to sit there and drink a beer, wine or bourbon, I'm usually the brown liquor type. So if you go there to drink, you still have to, one, it has to be concealed per law under Title IV. You must have a permit issued by the state of Arizona or a state that Arizona recognizes. 3, you may not consume on site, and it cannot be posted. And last, cannot be posted with the no firearms pursuant to Arizona Revised Statute 4-229. If you comply with all of those, you legally can carry into a bar, restaurant, or brewery. And so a lot of people are like, well, Josh, I wouldn't carry into a bar. I'm like, that may even be a good tactics-based decision not to carry a gun in a bar, because, guys, level. I tell people, alcohol doesn't change people. It just removes the filter. Then you get a tough guy that is drinking some Bud Dummers, and next thing you know, beer muscles ensue, and that. But that includes places like Chipotle.
Because they serve margaritas, right?
I don't know how many people don't know that. They're like, wait, so if I constitutionally carry in a place like Chipotle that serves alcohol, I'm breaking the law. I'm like, technically, yes. And a lot of people go, well, I didn't know that. I'm like, but you're just as responsible and liable for the laws that you do or do not know.
Right.
Now,
ignorance of the law excuses no man.
Exactly. But I have to, and people are like, well, what's the probability of me getting caught? I'm like, well, I came from Fountain Hills. I mean, if you drive the speed limit on 87, you're getting ran over, right? So what's the probability of, me coming up here and getting speeding ticket by DPS? I mean, I saw 2 of them on the way up here. So, so what's the probability? We call this, consequence-based tactics, right? There's consequences to everything that we do, criminally or civilly. So that's one place. So you technically, to carry in a bar, restaurant, or brewery.
So I can carry into a bar or restaurant, but I can't drink.
You cannot drink, and so it has to be concealed. You have to have a permit, and you cannot drink. And the last one, you can't have the sign that prohibits. You can't carry in a place that the sign prohibits carry in that bar.
So you do have to have a permit to carry concealed legally if you go into a bar or restaurant.
Yes.
So you're not covered by the constitutional carry piece of Arizona. No. You have to have the permit to do that.
Correct.
A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think, I don't need a permit because we're constitutional carry and I can just go anywhere I want.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. I mean, that's the argument, right?
Right.
People are like, I don't agree with that. I'm like, you don't have to. I mean, there's a lot of laws that I don't agree with, but it's and people are like, well, they not argue, but spirited discussion. And then I show them the law, and it's black and white there.
It's black and white.
Yes,
So your opinion is really valid for you, except it might be wrong.
Or I would say more feelings.
It's more feelings.
Feelings-based opinion, yeah. I would agree with that.
Well, there's a lot of them in this world, aren't there? Let's not, it's not important what you think, it's how you feel.
Yeah, right.
All right, we have a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, buddy.
Hey, I just got a question for that gentleman there.
Yes, sir.
Is there any way that we could change the law where these kids would not have this chance of shooting people in the schools and chickening out and shooting themselves in the head after they do this thing? I mean, look at these 2 people that just got shot, or the one person that got shot this weekend here in Payson.
I don't think laws matter.
She was 20 years old. He was 22. Isn't there a law where they can just make it where they can buy a gun after 25 years old after they get their heads out of their butts?
I mean, you can request to have the laws changed. That's your right as a citizen for sure. I mean, that's not unheard of. And contacting your local legislator and doing a petition and all of that, those things.
Do criminals go and buy their weapons at a store and register them?
I mean, I've seen it's the source of weaponry. Let's just use that, right? The source of weaponry transcends so many different things. From when Columbine, if you look at Columbine, those are straw purchases. So somebody bought the firearms for those individuals. And then you look at Uvalde, that was him having his parents' weapon as firearms. We've had thefts of firearms to then commit mass murder.
So that's the problem.
All the way to like legally purchasing firearms and doing mass murder. I mean, it transcends all, I guess, can we call it sources, Kenny?
Sure.
I mean, sources?
Yeah. I mean, there's a million different sources, so you can make a law that says you can't get a weapon until you're 25, but look how many options they have to go get one.
I'm glad murder is illegal because nobody would do it.
Yeah, right. Murder is illegal.
That's the thing. It's always tough. It's really a tough thing that you can't. The easiest way I say it is you can't legislate evil.
Right.
It's a very tough thing. It's because it's not and this is my personal opinion, which, if you look at like factors of opinions, like the lowest opinion is somebody's personal opinion, which typically doesn't involve compensation. And then like somebody's professional opinion, like that requires some type of compensation. And then your expert opinion, that requires healthy compensation. I'm going into my personal opinion world, which is kind of dangerous and salacious, but it's we can't legislate evil. I mean, you can't.
Right.
The likelihood of you stopping somebody for doing something evil with a consequence,
the problem is there's mental health problems, and there are indicators. And the problem is a lot of these people have published their manifestos. There's
a lot of clues.
There's a lot of clues out there before these people actually go out there and do this thing, and nobody's said anything. Nobody's done anything, and that's where it has to be.
And I think there's a huge breakdown in that in the mental health world. Huge breakdowns. And I'm not trying to shift blame by any stretch of the imagination or cast shade. But like, you know, and this is getting back to my personal opinion, is our criminal justice system, in my opinion, is the best example that we have in this world. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But if you look at it, you know, if you transcend all of the countries, we have a pretty good on the rights perspective. I travel, like with this international conference, like I last year I taught at this conference. I taught guys from Taiwan, Hong Kong, Belgium, Australia, Germany, Finland, Canada, and everybody across the United States. And the common denominator is, like, they all come here and they love our country. I mean, they're like the freedoms that we have, and it's not perfect.
But some of the
I
know
it's a crappy answer to a question that you asked. I apologize. I really do.
But you know, I just wanted to know, you know, because, you know, as me myself, I don't carry a gun. I don't feel like there's any. My hands are dangerous enough, I think. So
okay.
You know, so the right, that's what I feel, but I just don't carry a gun.
You're breaking up, buddy.
We're losing you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just don't carry a gun, you know. So
well, the most restrictive gun laws in the country have some of the highest murder and crime rates in the country. You know, Chicago's got ridiculous gun laws. New York,
yes.
And yet look at them. Look at the murder rates. Look at the crime.
Well, if you want to even take that a step further, Kenny, right? Look at Japan. Japan, after World War II, was completely disarmed. Right, so possession and carry of firearms is completely outlawed in Japan, and yet the former prime minister of Japan was a couple years ago was assassinated with a homemade firearm that you literally could buy all those materials at Lowe's and Home Depot.
IKEA, IKEA handgun store.
Dear God, right? Don't get me started. I mean, the directions alone in that makes you want to get violent. So, but you know, I'm not trying to cast shade on that, but even like Japan, it's some of the most restrictive, and people. I mean, I know this sounds really cliche-ish, but you know, if somebody is dead set on taking another human life, they're going to find a
sure. They'll use a car. They'll use a bomb. They'll use a knife. They'll use a crowbar. I mean, there's a million ways.
Cain killed Abel with
a rock,
right? I mean, it's so I wish there was a right answer, but I don't think there's a right answer to this. And you know, and you're completely entitled to your feelings and beliefs, and that doesn't discount any of them. That's what makes this country the greatest of mine. Yeah. I've raised my hand 3 times for this country in my life, and you know, Kenny, you have as well. And it's the best example, not perfect.
No,
but it's the best example.
No, it's a more perfect union.
Country too, so
thank you very much, sir.
You too, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, but I appreciate you guys. You know, how easy can I get this form? Is it hard to get? Or
the concealed carry class, or I apologize?
Yeah, no. Just that form that you were talking about, where I can get the public to fill out.
Yeah, I would just, you know, you can start a petition. You can, I don't know where to go with that aspect.
Okay.
That would be a Chat GPT or a Google that stuff on that end. That would be the best.
Okay.
All right, sir.
I appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right. We have Josh Logan here from Guardian Training and Consulting, and we're taking your phone calls, and straight ahead, we will take the one that's holding.
Are you aware that merely possessing a last will and testament doesn't prevent the probate process? That's correct. To steer clear of probate, it's essential to take additional steps beyond having just a will. As we step into a new year filled with uncertainties, it's crucial to ensure that your loved ones won't face unnecessary complications in the event of a tragedy. The Owens Law Firm is ready to help you create a tailored estate plan that suits your individual requirements. Don't wait any longer. Reach out to the Owens Law Firm at 472-4303 to arrange a consultation, or visit OwensLawAZ.com.
On-Site Podiatry Services has opened their office at 903 North Beeline Highway, Suite B, accepting new patients with all foot and ankle conditions, including heel pain, neuropathy, gout, ingrown and fungal toenails, bunions, hammer toes, and fractures. Doctors William Berg and John Ferguson each have 25 years experience and are wound care specialists. Accepting most insurances, call 602-501-0328 or visit expertwoundcare.us.
Rim Country residents, beware of storm chasers.
After heavy rains or strong winds, out-of-town roofers flood the area with phone calls and door knocks. Most aren't local. Here today, gone tomorrow. Roof King USA is different. They're your trusted local roofing company here year-round serving our community. Before you sign any paperwork, call the roofer you can count on. Estimates are free and they'll help negotiate with insurance companies. Go to roofkingusa.com or call 928-297-3757.
All right, thanks for joining us on the Rim Country Forum. We have Josh Logan here. We're talking about firearms and classes and all of the wonderful things that he does to keep you safe and out of trouble if you do own a firearm. We have a caller. Good morning. Oh, they hung up. All righty, let's see. What's the temperature out there? It's still beautiful out there, around 80 degrees. And we're talking, now you're going to be going to Huntsville. Oh, we got a caller.
There we go.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning. This is Phil. Let me turn
Phil.
this down real quick.
Sure.
As a former and retired homicide investigator, I did it for like 10 straight years.
Well, thank you for your service.
When evil overtakes someone, they do evil things. The men or the woman that you've known all your life that you'd never think would shoot and kill someone, something happens one day and the next thing you know, they're killing somebody. You can legislate till you're blue in the face and it won't change that.
Nope.
Laws don't really affect our moral standards.
Right.
We as human beings have to maintain a standard, and you can't do it if you're drinking or doing narcotics or angry at your wife or whatever. It won't change.
Well, spoken by probably a man that's stared evil in the eye multiple times in his career. I'm guessing. I could be presumptuous in that, but
no,
I'm guessing you're right.
I've been in five shootings. I know what it's all about.
So you stared evil dead in the eye, and in my opinion, if we use the law as a baseline for our basic conduct, I mean, I think you can agree that there's a lot of laws that aren't good. I know that's not a good quantifiable thing, but like, for example, I'll use an example. It's perfectly legal to, load an AR-15 and walk down the city street with your hands in your pockets in the state of Arizona. And this is what I classify as lawful but awful. Like, you're going to garner some type of attention.
Sure you are.
It's going to be negative in nature. And and now we're crossing the line between that, what's your right and what's responsible.
I watched a guy on a motorcycle last night on a video. He had a Department of Corrections jumpsuit,
Oh, dear God.
And so they pulled him over going, okay, you an escaped prisoner? Oh, no, I just thought I'd wear it for attention.
Then you got it. You got it. And so, like, I completely agree with you on that. It's like if that's your baseline.
I had a supervisor, a sergeant at one time, when I was a young patrolman, who went nuts one day. You'd never think he'd harm anyone.
Sure.
But he murdered his girlfriend.
Wow.
He shot her 12 times.
Good grief.
He's still in Florence. I don't know if he's alive or not anymore. It's been so many years.
Sure.
I worked in the 70s. I'm an old goat, so I've been around a while. But you can't get people to, if they don't have the moral underlying strength of God and law, they're going to do evil things.
Sure.
And you can legislate all the time, but emotions and, like you said, drugs, alcohol, anything that alters your perspective, they're just, it's a bell curve of crazy out there, And so how do you make a law to prevent all that?
Yeah. You don't. I haven't had a drink of alcohol since 1975 because I went to so many murders where alcohol was involved. I've seen the brutality of it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm terribly opposed to it.
Sure.
But it's something we have legislated as legal to drink. But people overindulge, and when they do, then that little evil tick in their mind takes over, and the next thing you know, they're killing somebody.
And alcohol is legal.
It is.
And just it's sad, and the drugs, the alcohol, the crime, the people that are dependent on this, and life doesn't matter to people. A lot of people because, like you said, they don't have a moral compass. They just don't have any, and there's a lot of sociopaths in this world who could do these things with impunity.
Correct.
Well, I worked overseas for 16 years, and people don't understand the freedoms we have and the moral standard that we, on average, have.
the human life value overseas isn't much at all.
Nope.
They don't care. They will kill you, and they'll do it quickly.
Well, look at Mexico. Mexico's right on our border, and look at down there the murders they have.
Well, not only that, but look at the current wars we're suffering with these extremists.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't legislate that out. You can stop Sharia law in this country if you can get enough votes together. But if you don't get enough votes together, it will take over.
It sure will. Look at Minneapolis. It's crazy up there.
It's nonsense.
It sure is.
We've got to start at the basic education level at kindergarten, teaching kids how to behave and punishing them when they get out of line. If you don't punish them, even if it's just a single swat on the butt, they're going to do, I can do that again because Daddy didn't care.
Oh, yeah. These kids are growing up with no consequences. Everybody gets a trophy, that kind of stuff. They just don't learn that there's winning and losing and that life is tough. And if they don't learn those consequences, they're going to grow up thinking they're entitled to do anything they want.
My dad had a case of rifles in his house, in his bedroom. And if we even looked at it, we got swatted. You don't touch the guns. But they don't teach these kids that anymore.
Yeah, it's sad. Well, thank you for your service and what you've seen. I'm an old trauma nurse and firefighter, so we weren't there at the start of it, but we got to clean up the mess and see it, and it's just horrible what we've done. I mean, I remember going years ago here in Payson to a murder-suicide right around the corner from my house. This guy shoots his wife, shoots himself, and just, why? It's just things happen, and it wasn't the gun. It's just a person's decisions.
Exactly. I went to a woman's home one night in Camp Verde many, many years ago. Her husband had been working up on the pipeline for years. And he came home finally with what he thought was a nice savings account. He came home to find no money. She had a boyfriend. She'd sold the house and the truck, and he was broke. He shot her in the head 5 times in the back. She called us after she was shot. Didn't kill her.
Wow. Well, I guess attempted murder is, better than a murder, but, I guess, every circumstance is different, and it's just really
exactly.
sad. And what do you do when life hits you in the face? I mean, sometimes people just don't think they've got any other choices, I guess, but...
Well, they do foolish things. They do evil things.
Absolutely.
And you can't legislate that away.
Nope, you sure can't.
What we have to do is deal with it on an after-the-fact basis. And I'm sorry, people are not going to like this. Prosecute them, hang them.
Yep.
Be done with it.
Yep. It's crazy. Well, thank you, sir, for the call.
Gentlemen,
appreciate it. God bless you.
Take care.
Appreciate it. So, here we are. And so, we have another caller already. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Dennis the Toy Maker.
Hi, Dennis.
I'm a late coming to the program, and I took a concealed course probably 25 years ago. And I'm wondering if you talked about, is it available up here? How long does it take? And what's it cost? And all the details.
Oh, boy.
I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Thank you. You just happen to have a class coming up.
I didn't ask him to call in. So, September 27th is the next class here up in Payson. It's going to be at the American Legion, right off of 260 there. And it's a 4-hour class, and it's going to be $49 for the class. And then if you wish to get fingerprinted for the permits, then an additional $25. So $74 out the door for the class and fingerprints. And then you'll have everything you need to submit to the Arizona Department of Public Safety for your Arizona concealed carry permit. And then it's $60 to the state for, background checks and cards and all that stuff. So it's $74 out the door, $49 for the class, $25 for the fingerprints. And that's going to be September 27th. And that's going to be at, I think it's 9 a.m. Let me check, just making sure. Yes, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. to 1.
And that's over there at the American Legion on Highway 260.
It's on our website there.
Yeah, and they have a great website, and there's a lot of videos that they've got on there and a lot of different options that they do. They're not going to teach you how to use a weapon. What they're going to do is they're going to go over the laws. They're going to go over the things that are going to protect you so that you understand where you can carry, where you shouldn't carry, and all that stuff. And like we said, it's a right, but with it comes responsibilities, and that's extremely important. All right, we have another caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Hi, Dennis calling back. I should have stayed on the line. I've been fingerprinted and had background checks and everything. Will they have to do that again?
Yes. Yeah, the DPS requires you, regardless of whether you have a level 1 fingerprint card, top secret security clearance, all that, work for the president.
Even if he got a concealed carry permit before?
Well, if he has a concealed carry permit before, then he just renews it. And then if he wants to attend the class, it's $49. So we've had people that, attended a concealed carry class 2 years ago and want to just get the information. Then it's just $49. And there's no need for to resubmit any of the paperwork and everything like that.
But they have to renew it. How often do you have to renew this?
It's good for 5 years.
So it's 5 years.
So yeah.
So he got his 25 years ago. Do you think they've even still got his stuff down there?
I mean, if he renewed it, we're talking like Dennis is in the room right now, but it's. But yeah, he as long as he does a timely renewal, which is 60 days prior or 90 days after, he remits a renewal form and $43 instead of $60.
So his permit's probably expired if he hasn't renewed.
If he has not, yeah. Then I would suggest resubmitting everything to kind of start, lack of a term, start the clock over.
And in 25 years, a few laws have changed, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, even 5 years ago, a lot of the laws have changed. So, yeah, if you're in 25 years, I call it my 3 R's of training. Your training must be recent, and must be relevant, and it must be realistic. So if I tell guys, even my military career, like that was, not as many years as you. I may be presumptuous there, Kenny, but I
went to basic training in 1973.
I wasn't alive. It's all right. But yeah, if you constantly have to seek training. Training is a journey, not a destination. So I hope that answered your question, Dennis.
Sure did. I have one more quick one. Did you offer a class that would be in conjunction with this, with just shooting? Because I haven't shot a gun in 25 years, and I don't want to. Yeah. For sure.
So, yeah, I break down, let's just call it gunfighting. That's what we're talking about. Gunfighting into 3 processes. 1 is the knowledge transfer, which is the concealed carry class. 2, firearms fundamentals, which is, sadly, we're limited up here because Jim Jones, we can't use Jim Jones. We don't have a range up here that we can utilize. So it'd be down in the valley. And so we have a myriad different ranges down the valley. So I would recommend, if it's been a minute or two, recommend just scheduling a private lesson with one of us. Get a hold of us, and that'll probably be the quickest, most expeditious way to get through there. The 3rd process is the use of force simulation class, which is our decision making. So we have the knowledge, we have the learning about the firearm, and then bringing everything together where we put you in a real world scenario, and where you have to make decisions from robberies to home invasions and everything in between. So essentially we're putting you in a police.
Now, are these 3 separate classes?
They are. Yeah, they are. So we silo training, and the rationale behind that is we want them to attend the class, get the knowledge, digest on it, attend another class. And it's not meant to sell more classes, but typically what we see packaged classes for like one day, and they do 5 different things. That means they didn't learn a single thing, right? You have to learn it just like
incrementally
in your medical career, right? We're going to focus on trauma, but you're going to focus on airways, and then we're going to focus on bleeding, and we're going to focus on these different systems
and put it together. Yeah.
Exactly. That's how professionals do it.
Well, it's really unfortunate you can't do a firearms training class up here. I mean, because of the limitation. Why can't you use the range?
So from what I've gathered, I sent the email, sent them my insurance, kind of like how I do it. Like I travel the country teaching across, so many different ranges. So I send kind of my letter, right? And it has all our insurance and everything that they ask for.
You think that they would want.
I get ahead of it. So I don't like every range that I worked with, they're like, holy crap, we didn't ask for any of this. I'm like, but I know you will. So I'm taking a proactive step, and which hopefully should show our level of professionalism and like this is our second day kind of doing it, kind of thing. So it was unfortunate. We talked to Jim Jones, and because of the lease, right? The lease that they have with the Forestry Service or whoever owns that land, they don't allow for-profit firearms training at that facility.
That's nuts.
So it's not their fault. It's not the board's fault. It's the operating agreement that they have for so many years. It's just kind of one of those things. Yeah.
All right. We have a call holding, but I got to take a quick break, and we'll take this caller as soon as we come back.
You're invited to a special 10-year anniversary celebration of Banner Payson Medical Center, Wednesday, September 3rd. It will begin at 4 p.m. at Banner's main entrance with an opener from CEO Hoyt Scabelin and former Mayor Kenny Evans, followed by a walk-through history tour beginning in 1954 in the original clinic building, with staff sharing the hospital's history story from past to present day. Refreshments provided by the MHA Foundation. Don't miss this rare opportunity to celebrate not only Banner Payson Medical Center's 10-year anniversary, but Payson's healthcare history. Wednesday, September 3rd, beginning 4 p.m. at 807 South Ponderosa Street.
Alliant Gas Pinnacle Propane is Rim Country's longest-running propane company and number one source for safe, reliable propane service and delivery throughout the area. Their many dedicated and experienced customer service representatives are ready to assist you 7 to 5 p. Monday through Friday with after-hours on-call and emergency service readily available. Propane is safe, economical, and environmentally friendly. Alliant Gas Pinnacle Propane, 474-2294. Remember, be safe and call 811 before you dig.
Ponderosa Family Care provides services from well woman's exams and hormone replacement to weight and diabetes management, counseling, medication management, and psychotherapy. Ponderosa is a whole family provider with the only board-certified pediatricians in Gila County. Same-day sick and walk-in clinic appointments are available for their patients, saving high ER, urgent care, or out-of-pocket costs. To become a Ponderosa Family Care patient, stop by their new location, 708 South Coeur d'Alene, or call 928-468-8603. And big congratulations to Dr. Judy Hunt, recognized as Rural Educator of the Year from U of A College of Medicine.
You know, everything's so expensive these days. Many families are priced out of events.
Not the fair. The Northern Gila County Fair is focused on affordability for all ages and uniting our community with fun and affordable entertainment tied to our Grim Country roots.
The events are mind-boggling.
Live music and bands.
Magic and talent shows.
Mini carnival with 40-foot slide, spinning animal ride, and fun house.
A petting zoo.
Games, cornhole, and mini golf.
Bingo.
Watermelon eating.
Hands-on demos by the Flycasters and garden clubs. Foot rodeo and roping.
Hula dancing studio.
Airplane flyover.
Horse and livestock show and competitions.
A ranch rodeo.
And the Junior Livestock Auction.
Plus, the Arizona State Championships, mutton busting, and the Old Time Fiddlers Festivals.
Check it all out and schedule of events at northerngilacountyfair.com.
It's affordable fun for the whole family.
Don't miss this.
Not at the county fair.
That's right. And go to Bob's Western. We're going to get your duds for the rodeo, ranch rodeo, and all the other fun stuff over there at the Northern Gila County Fair. We have a caller who's been holding patiently. Hello, who's this?
Good morning. It's Inga.
Good morning, Inga.
Hi. You know, I heard the gentleman, retired law enforcement officer, and he's got some really valid points. There is no discipline being taught at a young age anymore. The schools cannot discipline the children. Okay, so, and there's so many of the weird videos that kids are in tune with. The problem is this: there are going to be parents who are wanting to talk to their children. There are those that use the internet as a babysitter, wondering if your company could possibly work with the schools where you have a volunteer program where parents can sign up, bring their children, and teach them the awareness and the dangers of weapons and the pros of teaching these children about that. And maybe you can work with the schools where you can go in and talk and do a safety program and somehow get the parents involved to teach them about discipline and about knowledge about weapons from a young start. So I'll put that out there and kind of maybe let you comment on that.
Okay, thanks, Inga.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would love that. You know, teaching our children is absolutely vital. I mean, I have a 12-year-old daughter, 12 going on 16. You know, but I'm blessed. I have, you know, a 12-year-old daughter that's, you know, straight A's. She's in school right now down in the Valley. Straight A's, National Junior Honor Society, plays violin in the orchestra, in the choir, in track, and she's so much smarter than I am. When I was 12, I was a moron.
She's a doll.
She's an absolute doll. She's been on the show a couple times. I agree with the whole parenting thing is a parenting thing, and that. So I would love to talk to the schools and talk about, from basic to, life skills. Let's
Are
just
there
call
any
life
schools
skills
that are doing any kind of firearms awareness training, or so they safety?
I don't. I mean, when we're talking about public schools, like that is. So how do I say this? When I approach a public school, I try to go vanilla as possible, and that's usually like life skills like situational awareness, stop the bleed, and CPR, which I believe are basic life skills. Like those are not, like these are like how to cook, how to boil water kind of stuff, how to, how to, do your taxes kind of stuff. So I think bleeding control, situational awareness, and CPR are kind of those
but
basic.
We do drug awareness classes. You think we could do firearms awareness?
But if you drop the G word or the F word in a school and guns and firearms, I mean, we have people that have very strong feelings about it. It's like it's the things you don't talk about at Thanksgiving. Sadly, it's the abortions and Trump and all these different things you don't talk about.
Well, that's why in Chicago we have school-free gun zones.
Right, and school-free gun zones. Exactly. So it's I would love to have that intellectual conversation with the superintendent or the principal or whoever that may be. But when you're talking about school boards and you mentioned firearms, it becomes a very salacious. And it's like you like I've done it before where we're talking facts and we're talking like saying that educating children. Like I gun-proofed my child. I didn't child-proof my guns.
Right.
So, my daughter grew up in a world of firearms, and they weren't dangerous to her. They were things that
something to be respected.
Exactly, and revered, and knowing that it's my property, and so like I never told my daughter, "You shall never touch my firearms." I told her, "If you ever want to touch my firearms, all you have to do is ask." And so it didn't become this taboo thing. And so, now she's got her own firearm and it's locked in a safe, but if she wants to go to the range, we bring it, we safely handle it, go to the range, come back, and and so firearms with firearms, it's like a TV remote to her. I know that sounds flippant.
Well, that's the way it should be.
It's not.
It should be second nature, and it should be respected.
And I've never had to concern myself with her ever being irresponsible and going against my word, because it wasn't she's ever afraid of me disciplining her. She was afraid of disappointing me.
Man,
and that's the thing.
You're blessed.
That is exactly right, Kenny. I am absolutely blessed beyond my measure. So I'm open to the conversation. I hope that answered her question. Like I'm open to the conversation.
I think it's a great thing.
In my experience, it hasn't been successful, but I agree we gotta figure something out for sure, 100%.
My high school years ago used to have a gun team, and they would shoot. In
Southeast Ohio, we had guns in our gun racks in the truck.
Sure.
For deer season. I mean, in the parking lot. So
and nobody was killing each other.
Nope.
So anyway, Josh, you got a class coming up when? Tell us about the class again real quick.
September 27th at the American Legion, 9 a.m. to 1, $49, and then $25 for the fingerprints. Come join us. It's on our website, and that is readytoday.org.
Readytoday.org. It's a dangerous world, and if you're going to carry a weapon, you need to be responsible with it and know the laws so you don't get yourself in trouble, because that's the main thing. I mean, when you pull that weapon out, you better know what you're doing, because there's a million different scenarios. We've talked about them before, and all of them can turn out bad for you if you don't do the things right.
You have 3 fights: the fight for your life, the fight for your freedom, and the fight for your financial well-being.
Yeah, because it's costly to defend yourself.
Yes, sir.
There ain't nothing cheap about going to court.
No.
All righty. Josh, you're a wonderful guy. You're not going to get a better instructor for a class, and he does a great job, and just total respect for him and his wife, Karen, and their great business. So, hey, safe travels back to Huntsville this weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Next week, and appreciate it. Let's thank our sponsors, the Owens Law Firm, HS3 Roof King, Pinnacle Propane, Dana Law Group, and Peak Dermatology. It is always a wonderful day on the show here with Guardian Training and Consulting. Give them a call and sign up for the class. And if you can't do this one, they're going to be back up again here sooner or later, because they're doing it all the time. Appreciate it. All righty. I'm going to be followed by Brandon and I on the diner to talk about all the great restaurants in Rim Country. Thank you for joining us on the Rim Country Forum, and God bless America.
Serving all of Rim Country, Gila County's #1 rated full-power commercial radio station, KMOG Payson.